Good evening and welcome to 1010 News, your top 10 news in 10 minutes. I'm Andy Hong. I hope you all had a great Thanksgiving and you all should probably get some rest after all that Black Friday action. In St. Louis and many other major cities, however, things weren't so happy this week. Not because of the weather, which is certainly a problem, but because of the Tuesday grand jury decision to let Officer Darren Wilson off the hook for shooting Michael Brown, an unarmed teenager. The town of Ferguson, where all of this began, was first to erupt in protest, and police and National Guard troops could not prevent the small bands of looters from ransacking the town. Many raised objection to the fact that the jury consisted of 9 white and 3 black members, which might have skewed the decision. Mr. Brown's parents expressed disappointment with the decision, but urged protesters to refrain from violence. The United Nations weighed in to call the events a tragedy, but in typical UN fashion refused to fight the decision made by the grand jury and stayed back. I was afraid Michael Brown might become another Trayvon Martin, but at least George Zimmerman went to court for killing Martin, even though he was cleared at the end. Meanwhile, in Nigeria, an attack on the Kano Central Mosque during Friday prayers cost 35 lives and injured 150. At least 3 men rolled up in a Toyota van with assault rifles, and it is likely that Boko Haram, the Islamist militant group in Nigeria, is responsible. Of course, this will be the same group responsible for the mass kidnappings of schoolgirls from various towns throughout Nigeria, namely the town of Chibok, where the group took 267 girls in April of this year. In Iraq, it is likely that a plan to take back the key city of Mosul from ISIS, the fundamentalist Sunni militant group in Iraq and Syria, will be implemented in January. According to CNN, the plan involves 1,000 Kurdish and Iraqi troops attacking from the south and the west, along with coalition air support. The initial attack would establish a strong foothold within the city, with other operations allowing Iraqi and Kurdish forces to expand from there. Many details of the operation remain unrevealed, as they should be. Until now, most of the Ebola cases have been in Liberia. Now the focus has shifted to Sierra Leone. Many of the latest cases have been coming from that nation. According to World Health Organization figures, Sierra Leone accounted for 409 new cases and 131 deaths, whereas the other nations, Liberia and Guinea, amounted to less than 200 combined. There have been increasing worries of the safety of the aid workers there. In Kenema, Sierra Leone, several burial workers went on strike and were subsequently fired for not tending to the dead bodies properly. French President Francois Hollande visited Guinea today, becoming the first of the Western leaders to do so. Fortunately, there are no known cases in the United States today. The total number of cases now near 16,000. In North Korea, the nepotism runs strong as dictator Kim Jong-un's sister has been given a senior government position. Kim Yo-young is now, according to the North Korean media, the Vice Department Director of the Central Committee of the Workers' Party in Korea. This comes merely weeks after Kim Jong-un's return from media obscurity, which is suspected to probably be due to an ankle surgery. Back in the United States this morning, only about a week after President Obama's new executive order on immigration reform, a man opened fire on a federal court in a Mexican consulate in Austin, Texas, before being killed on the scene by police. He has been identified as 49-year-old Larry McKilliam, an Austin resident with a criminal history. Evidence suggests that he was extremely discontent over recent policies, although his motives aren't entirely clear. Nobody except the shooter was injured or killed, and investigations will continue. Ray Rice, the Baltimore Ravens football player who was captured in the video beating his wife, has won the appeal to break the National Football League's indefinite suspension and keep playing. He has said that he deeply regrets his actions and will continue to improve himself while playing on the league. However, this is a major step back for all the domestic violence issues that arose following the Ray Rice case and is an implicit condonement of any act of domestic violence committed by athletes. Today was a bad day for oil stocks. The Organization of Petroleum Export Countries, or OPEC, announced that there will be no cuts in production today, the decision that sent oil prices falling to the lowest level since 2010. Natural gas, a staple of American gas production, has also been hit. According to CNN Money, the best Black Friday deal this year was the gas price. The average price for the United States fell to $2.79 per gallon today, but of course here in California it will still remain above average. The new Star Wars 7 teaser trailer came out today and the special effects look great, sure, but will the storyline hold up? Many have been complaining that the title, The Force Awakens, is tacky and are blaming Disney for defiling the series. You have no idea how happy many of us nerds were to see the Millennium Falcon and the X-Wing flying again. Let's hope that we don't have Mickey Mouse singing in the movie or something like that. Hopefully not. For today's science news, we'll discuss another science fiction movie which happens to be my favorite movie of all time, Interstellar. The director of Interstellar, Christopher Nolan, consulted astrophysicist Kip Thorne for the movie, which involves dimension-bending space travel that is actually based off of actual astrophysics. The movie is basically a wormholes and interdimensional theoretical physics galore. I recommend watching it 100%, by the way. In our latest astrophysics news, scientists discovered an invisible shield protecting Earth. They have theorized it for years, but they aren't entirely sure of how it works. They only confirm that there is something protecting us from deadly rays of superfast electrons. If we want to take this to the movie Interstellar level, then it is possible that the protection is something from a higher dimension, but of course we aren't sure of that either. You know what, just watch the movie, okay? Just watch it. And that was the top 10 news of this week in 10 minutes. I'm Andy Hong. Check us out on Facebook and YouTube, and we'll be back next week with more of your top 10 news in 10 minutes.